Fresh off the debut of the third Hercules telefilm on Halloween Day 1994, the growing fanbase didn't need to wait long for a fourth adventure featuring the son of Zeus. It was now November 1994, and Renaissance Pictures continued to expand on the formula that began with the original film. This time, the story was based on Herc's 12th labor, which involved him returning the three-headed dog known as Cerberus to his post in the Underworld at the request of King Eurystheus. Among the newcomers joining the cast with Sorbo, Quinn, and Kitaen were Hercules' three children, Aeson and Ilea, played by the MacGyver siblings Paul and Rose, and Clonus, played by Simon Lewthwaite. Marley Shelton as Iole, Cliff Curtis as Nessus, and Timothy Baum as Lycastus are featured in supporting roles for this latest adventure. From the professional wrestling world, WCW fans remember him as El Gigante. WWF fans remember him as Giant Gonzalez. Either way, the late Jorge Gonzalez makes an appearance as Eryx the Boxer. And finally, we have four familiar faces from the Herc and Xena mythos making appearances in the film. More on those later. My name is Aaron, and let's get into it. This is A Tale of Hercules in the Underworld. Hercules in the Underworld, written by Andrew Detman and Daniel Truly, was the second telefilm directed by Bill L. Norton and premiered on the Universal Action Pack on November 7th, 1994. As dogs bark in this moonlit town, the ground suddenly splits in two. A hissing green mist seeps out from the abyss, accompanied by the scarring chorus of tortured souls below. But that doesn't stop two drunk lads, Alis and Medion, from singing about maidens, and hey, it's Michael Hurst with a funny black-haired wig. He's really gonna do it this time, he says. He'll talk to his lover, Cretissa, and to do it, he's gonna go through the window! The green mist catches their attention, and Alis must investigate. It doesn't go well, as these two are now skeletons. Hey, God milk. The opening credits begin as a woman seductively bathes and gets dressed before staring deep into our souls. Later on in the tiny town, a challenge has been issued. And look, it's Grant Bridger, the man who would go on to play Lord Zinteres in the Royal Couple of Thieves from Season 1 of Xena Warrior Princess. Is there anyone man enough to get in the ring and fight the undefeated Eryx the Boxer? Wait a minute, this guy gave people trouble? 2, 3, and 5 dinars later, this lad steps up to the challenge. Only this jabbing dude wasn't Eryx the Boxer. This man is Eryx the Boxer. Yes, the town has been duped, but Eryx only cares about his undefeated streak. As you might expect, nobody in town stands a chance against the giant. Who can possibly defeat him? Behold, Hercules Manor. The son of Zeus is now a 3-time papa, having a grand old time playing with his children while wearing the skin of the Nemean lion he killed a few labors ago. I love that reference to the Greek myths. Suddenly, the child sent to alert Hercules about Eryx interrupts the family fun. The son of Zeus wastes no time in confronting the undefeated giant. Innocent men being killed for Eryx's amusement? That simply won't do. And there he goes flying. Zeus appears in the crowd, urging his son to stick the jab. Goodness, he was thrown through the door and the wall. Has Hercules met his match? As the king of the gods plays spectator to my amusement, his son finally takes control with his combination of speed and power. Lefts and rights to the body and head, a strike to the leg, and timber! You know he did. Hercules!
Win.
For his efforts, the son of Zeus has won a grand prize. Another peacock feather from his wicked stepmother. Her stepson hastily arrives to her temple and asks for a truce. Hera declines with a sharp thunderclap above, leaving Hercules with no choice. This temple must die. This will only make her angrier, says Zeus, but Herc thinks maybe she wouldn't be so mad if Zeus stayed faithful to her.
And you wouldn't have been born.
Yeah, Zeus wins this round. The king of the gods suggests for his son to count his blessings instead of lamenting this Hera nonsense. After all, he has a warm bed to sleep in, a lovely wife, and beautiful children. It may take twice as much work to keep what he has, but the king says it's worth it. With that, Herc returns home. He is rewarded with his wife playing Connect the Dots with his numerous battle scars. Goodness, how beautiful was this woman? The next day, Hercules is here to bump you up. Heeding his father's advice, he gets distracted by how much he appreciates his family while working alongside Nessus the centaur. Suddenly, the woman from the opening credits arrives to Hercules' manor. Upon confirming his identity, she faints in his arms. Damn, he gets beautiful women to faint in his own home too? Inside, she explains the dire situation with the green mist hole in her hometown of Griffin. Sacrifices and offerings haven't done anything to stop it, so the son of Zeus is asked to help. Later on, the many patrons at a local pub give a toast to Hercules for all the good he's done. Except for Nessus. The drunken centaur laments how easy it is for a half-god like Herc to be a hero and get all the credit, while he and the rest of the townfolk all work hard and barely get by. And Deianira fawns over her husband, even though he's gone most of the time, but it is he, Nessus, who actually takes care of her, he says. Go drunk, dude, you're home. Later that night, a noise outside startles Iole, but she can rest easy knowing that Hercules will accompany her back to Griffin. Deianira investigates the premises, only to find the drunken centaur trying to create some drama between her and her husband over Iole. He'll have her, you'll see. Great, she let him get into her head. The next morning, Hercules determines it's a good day for traveling. As everyone says their goodbyes, jealousy is still all over the centaur's face. Ah, the early days of New Zealand cinematography. I love it.
Chicken.
Deianira has made her way into town, and it's a good thing too. This elder woman tells her that this medallion symbolizes the death of her husband. No doubt given to her by a Nurian maiden, a virgin who specializes in love, charm, and seduction from the moment she is born. The woman warns Deianira that it's too late now. Iole will cause Hercules to die in the name of love. And holy Zeus, she also has one of those medallions. Deianira wastes no time in leaving her sister, Althea, in charge of the children while she goes after her husband. Well, that was fast. Iole is encouraged to stop this madness immediately, but she says she can't. Let them fight! Hercules says he knew about the medallion business all along, but the safety of Iole's people comes first. There's only one woman he'd die for, and that's Deianira. Now go back home with Nessus, he says. Look at how Hercules holds her. It's tender, huffs Nessus. Do you remember when he carried you like that? She slaps the centaur, but that only intensifies his lust for her. Hercules hears his wife calling for him and quickly takes aim. A direct hit leaves Nessus without Hera's protection, but with enough strength to urge Deianira to give this cloak filled with his blood, a powerful potion, to Hercules so he can return to his family unharmed. And she does, even after he has second thoughts about the mission. Hera is evil, don't you see that? As Hercules and Iole carry on, she explains that her parents sent her off to train as a Nerean maiden after her mother saw her daughter in a vision with a blue stone medallion before birth. But don't believe everything you hear about the maidens. After all, Hercules is supposed to be 10 feet tall, supposedly took out a two-headed giant, killed a Lernaean Hydra, and killed an enormous sea monster via heart vice grip. Oh wait, those last three things did happen. At last, they arrive at an inn, and somebody is thrashing about. "Put the club down," says Iole, and using her charm, we find out why he was so pissed. This food burned his mouth. Sometimes kindness can go a long way. I wonder who this guy is. Later on the journey, Iole recounts the tragic tale of Myria and Martimus, two would-be lovers, if not for Myria's father, killing her in a fit of rage over Martimus. The grieving lad then cut his own heart out, forever resulting in the both of them reaching out for the other as stars in the afterlife. Dude, that sucks. You know what that is, don't you? Trouble. The next morning, she bathes, and this guy's a peeping Tom. Thinking it's Hercules looking at her, she likes the attention until the son of Zeus calls for her to get moving from afar. Suddenly, the peeping Tom clocks Hercules, but he doesn't get a shot in after that. This is Lycastus, a lad who is madly in love with Iole. Unfortunately for him, she has bigger fish to fry. Ouch, dude got friend-zoned and wasn't even conscious. Soon enough, they arrive to Griffin, and the entire town rejoices. The villagers lead Hercules straight to the hissing green mist, with no shortage of tortured souls zipping on by. "That's the Underworld," says Zeus. "Nothing down there but death."
Can I die?
He intends to go down that hole, so he must know the truth.
You can die.
But what if Zeus is lying? Meanwhile, Lycastus begs Iole to reconsider doing what she has to do. "There is no us," she says, "but this could have fooled me." Hercules returns, telling Iole he must abort the mission. He has a family to provide for, so going into the Underworld is far too risky. Iole is not having any of this crap, revealing her secret weapons. But Hercules is still going home, and that's final. And Lycastus, he knows you were in here. Back outside, Hercules wraps himself in the cloak given to him by Deianira. But instead of protecting him, it begins to strangle him and burn him. When he breaks free, he launches the cloak across town, revealing Hera's signal, the peacock. Hercules has had enough of this crap, running straight for the entrance to the Underworld, and he jumps in. Back at Hercules Manor, Deianira is crushed to find out what happened. What caused her husband to jump into the hole was a cursed cloak. While the guilt eats away at her, Hercules emerges from deep in the Underworld. Suddenly, a boat dude sails into the picture. Wait, it's the boat dude, Charon, who makes his debut in the series by hilariously referencing the "You talking to me?" from 1976's Taxi Driver. What a year that was. Michael Hurst makes another appearance in the film as the boat dude, after the original casting choice for the role fell ill prior to the filming of this scene. Sound familiar, Xena fans? Charon asks for a payment to cross. Wait.
Only the dead are permitted to cross the river Styx, huh?
And that can't change. Or maybe it can.
Hades is not gonna be happy about this, let me tell you.
Nobody alive has ever entered the Underworld. But then again, Hercules isn't nobody. As these two sail on, the sound of Cerberus echoes in the distance. The damned dog is on the loose, causing all kinds of trouble in the land of the living and the land of the dead. Time to pay up, says Charon, but Hercules has bigger fish to fry. I love how he walks away with the lantern too. Soon enough, Hercules finds Cerberus's dog collar, but spontaneously combusts. Great. Meanwhile, at sunset, a little montage of her memories with her deed husband are too much for Deianira to handle. She sees him reaching out to her, but she's getting a little too close to the edge of that cliff for my liking. Oh no, she fell over. That damn peacock feather. Later on, the son of Zeus is alive and well, but now in an even creepier place. Uh-oh, 3 Jezebels! They each grab him with their fruit roll-up tongues, but he easily breaks free. Zombies! Hercules climbs his way out, revealing another fiery pit of the Underworld. This time, he's confronted by foes he has killed in battle, including Eryx the Boxer. The rematch is on, and no stab wounds are effective down here.
Fight me like a man.
But here's the thing, Hercules is only half man. A kick squaw in the nits and a right hand cause the giant to fall into the fiery abyss. Before long, we have a new challenger, Nessus. The centaur always saw Herc for who he really was, an arrogant bastard who feeds on the undeserved praise and adoration of those who fawn over him. And what wife would he be going home to? Deianira is dead. That's right, the guilt over the cloak was too much for her, and she now resides in the Elysian Fields. In tears, Hercules asks to see her one more time, and Nessus obliges. He jumps into the portal! What a smart half-man. In the Elysian Fields, there are so many women who look like Deianira, but we all know there can be only one for Hercules. However, she has no memory of her husband. Suddenly, Hades appears, portrayed here by Mark Ferguson. That's right, long before Eric Thompson took on the role in the television series, the original god of the underworld was Cricus and Dagnan and John Smythe, among others. Hades urges Hercules to go back to the land of the living, but he's not going anywhere without Deianira. Remember your husband, woman, and your kids, Aeson, Clonus, and little Ilea. One awesome kiss later, she regains her memory. However, the god of the underworld can't let her go back with her husband. Unless Hercules does him the favor of returning Cerberus to his post. But if the son of Zeus should fail, Deianira stays in the Elysian Fields forever. Seconds later, Hercules is close to the 3-headed dog. Hades' hunters are also after the beast, but they clearly are overmatched. One of the hunters is Stig Eldred, who would return several times later on both shows as the main villain. Go ahead and clock him with this hammer, but leave the rest to us, he tells Hercules. When they get close, the son of Zeus dives at the beast and pushes it down below. All that's left to do is to whack it with the hammer. But instead, Herc harkens back to what Iole did for the man who burned his mouth at the inn. He uses kindness to win over Cerberus's heart. All three of them, I guess. With Cerberus back where he belongs, we hear a familiar whoosh in the background. Suddenly, Deianira appears, and the green mist and griffin is no more. Lycastus and Iole are free to start a family of their own, and the town is saved. The film ends with a wonderful scene of the entire family enjoying life on a bright sunny day. When I first saw this part, I couldn't help but smile seeing the late Anthony Quinn getting a chance to be Grandpa Zeus. But the fun doesn't last long. Someone else needs your help, Hercules! That'll do it for our look back at the fourth television film of the Renaissance Pictures depiction of the son of Zeus. More of the same with this film, but seeing as how the first three were so fun to watch, this isn't a bad thing. There's a fine balance between the comedic moments and the more serious moments. The ongoing beef between Hercules and Hera intensifies in a big way, and the evolution of the relationship between Zeus and Hercules is capped off tremendously with this big happy family scene. The telefilm story arc was originally set to conclude right here, but with the growing popularity of the franchise and a sudden call from Universal to shoot more action fast, a fifth film was on the way. This is where we'll pick things up next time. As always, thank you for watching, and be sure to come back when we conclude our coverage of the 5 Hercules telefilms on the channel with the final piece from 1994, Hercules in the Maze of the Minotaur. She slaps the centaur, but that only intensifies his... only intensifies, okay, yes. Good word, intensifies. Put the club down, says Iole, and...